Kendrick Lamar is a master strategist, and the Super Bowl halftime show proved it once again. His ongoing beef with Drake has been one of the biggest moments in hip-hop, and he's been sending shots in the most calculated ways. But this time, he might have just outdone himself. Not Like Us is already one of the hardest diss tracks aimed at Drake, but Kendrick took things to another level by bringing out two women Drake has a history with, SZA and Serena Williams, right in front of the entire world. That wasn't a coincidence. That was a message. The line in Not Like Us, where Kendrick says he hates the women Drake has been intimate with, had people talking. It was already a brutal jab, but then he turned around and put two of those very women on the biggest stage possible. That's not just a diss. That's psychological warfare. SZA and Drake have their own complicated history. Drake once admitted to dating her back in 2008, and while SZA has never put much energy into that conversation, it's clear she's moved on. Meanwhile, Serena Williams was one of the women Drake was most publicly obsessed with. He was courtside at her matches, he rapped about her, and when she got married to SZA, Drake threw some not-so-subtle shots in his music. Now imagine being Drake, watching the Super Bowl halftime show, and seeing Kendrick Lamar bring out SZA and Serena Williams in the middle of a performance that already has the world talking. That had to sting. It wasn't just about music anymore, this was personal. Fans immediately caught on to what Kendrick was doing. Social media lit up with reactions, memes, and endless speculation. Was this planned just to mess with Drake? Was Kendrick sending a message that he's got the industry on his side? Or was he simply making a power move by aligning himself with people from Drake's past? One thing is for sure, Drake had to see it. And knowing Drake, he probably felt some type of way about it. He's built a career off wearing his emotions on his sleeve. When things don't go his way, it usually ends up in a song. The question is, will he respond? Or will he try to act unbothered? Kendrick's approach to this feud has been different from anything we've seen before. He's not just rapping. He's making cultural statements. He's controlling narratives, shifting the energy, and making sure every move stings. Bringing out SZA and Serena was a move so cold that it didn't even require words. Some fans are arguing that SZA and Serena had no real involvement in the beef and were just there to be part of the show. But others aren't buying that. They see this as Kendrick using everything at his disposal to make Drake feel pressure. And let's be honest, if the roles were reversed, Drake would do the same. The history between these artists makes this moment even crazier. Drake and Kendrick were once on good terms, but as the competition grew, the tension did too. It started with subliminal shots, then turned into direct disses, and now, it's reached a place where entire halftime performances are being used as weapons. Kendrick has shown that he's playing chess, not checkers. He understands the power of moments, and he's making sure that every move leaves an impact. The halftime show wasn't just a performance, it was a statement. And the funniest part, Drake can't escape it. Even if he ignores it publicly, the internet won't let him. Clips of Serena dancing, SZA being on stage, and Kendrick's lyrics are going to keep circulating. People are going to keep dissecting it, analyzing it, and making sure Drake feels it. This isn't just a rap battle, it's a war of influence. And right now, Kendrick is winning. Did Kendrick Lamar just deliver the worst Super Bowl halftime performance ever? The Super Bowl halftime show is one of the biggest stages in the world. It's where legends are made, careers are cemented, and sometimes, things don't go as planned. This year, Kendrick Lamar took the stage, and fans are not holding back. The internet is flooded with reactions, and a large number of fans are calling it the worst Super Bowl halftime performance in history. Yes, you read that right. Kendrick Lamar, one of the most critically acclaimed rappers of our time, is being dragged for his performance. How did this happen? Was it really that bad? Or are people just overreacting? Let's break it down. When it was first announced that Kendrick Lamar would be headlining the Super Bowl halftime show, fans had mixed reactions. Some were excited, knowing that Kendrick is one of the best lyricists in the game. Others were skeptical, wondering if his deep and poetic style would translate well to a stage that thrives on high-energy, crowd-pleasing anthems. Super Bowl performances are about spectacle, showmanship, and mass appeal. Would Kendrick be able to deliver? As soon as the performance started, the internet went into overdrive. Social media lit up with reactions, and the majority of them were not positive. Fans complained that the energy was low, the setlist was underwhelming, and the overall execution just didn't match the level of previous Super Bowl performances. Some even compared it to legendary flops like Maroon 5's halftime show in 2019, which was widely panned for being forgettable. One of the biggest criticisms was the lack of crowd engagement. The Super Bowl audience is made up of casual music fans, not just hip-hop heads. While Kendrick has a loyal following, his setlist didn't seem to resonate with the broader audience. Fans expected bangers, energy, and a spectacle, but instead, many felt like they were watching a deep, introspective performance that didn't belong on this stage. Another issue that fans pointed out was the stage production. In comparison to past Super Bowl performances, where artists like Beyoncé, Prince, and even Rihanna delivered visually stunning spectacles, Kendrick's set felt minimalistic. While some appreciated the artistic approach, the general consensus was that it lacked the grandeur expected at the Super Bowl. Of course, there are those who came to Kendrick's defense. Some fans argued that people simply don't understand his artistry. Kendrick has never been the type of artist to rely on flashy performances or over-the-top gimmicks. He's a storyteller, a poet, and a rapper who prioritizes substance over style.